Hello, North Country, and welcome to Beekmantown Central School, the Eagles' Nest, for Champlain Valley Athletic Conference Varsity Boys Basketball. Tonight, the Beekmantown Central School Eagles meet the Plattsburgh High School Hornets. I'm Foxy Gagnon along with Eric Gagnon on camera. Our thanks to Dr. Victor Castine and staff at CJM Medical for their support of Plattsburgh High School basketball. The Hornets, coached by Kevin Doherty in his 14th year. He is assisted by Mike Recor and the Modified A coach Mark Searles. The Hornets come into this one with a record of 8 wins and 1 loss atop Division I of the CVAC. However, they have something to prove. The Hornets lost their undefeated streak of 12 CVAC games. 8 this season was ended in their most recent game against the Northern Adirondack Central School Bobcats in a barn burner, 54-51. So the Hornets want to rebound, and they want to rebound strong to send the message to the rest of the CVAC that they are still the team to contend with. They have been led in scoring throughout the season, as they were last year, by Joel Butchino. Butchino averages 22 points a game. He has been in the 20s in most of those games with a season high of 26 against Saranac, and 26 in the most recent game against Northern Adirondack. The quarterback of the team, Ryan Sapel. Sometimes he could be called Super Sapel because Sapel can hit those 3-pointers. He had 5 against Saranac Lake. He has 16 in the CVAC. He had a season-high 19 points against the Bobcats, and he averages 13 on the season. The Hornets play without their third leading scorer, that is Adam Favreau. Favreau out with an ankle injury, missing his 2nd consecutive game, and he has an average of 13 points. Favreau expects to be in uniform for the next Hornet game, but I know it's tough sitting out those games, and the Hornets need that junior leadership that he provides. Seniors on the team that provide leadership, but he is the junior starter. Those are the 3 key players. Tim DeLeese, the senior, is the 4th starter, and he can be counted on for his 6, 7, 8 points, as well as an excellent floor game. He seldom makes mistakes. The Hornets have hit 42 3-pointers through those 9 CVAC games. Butchino with 17 and Sapel with 16. Now let's look at Beekmantown Central School. Coached by Matt Berry, his first year, he replaced 15-year coach Maceo Dubose. Matt Berry still looking for his first CVAC win. He picked up a preseason win over Chazy Central, but he would love to get a CVAC win under his belt. The Eagles are 0-9. However, they have been competitive, and the Eagles have lost 2 overtime games, 1 to Northeastern Clinton Central and 1 recently to Osable Valley. The Eagles' leading scorer, senior number 20, Todd Bishop. Bishop has a season high of 35 points in the overtime loss to Osable Valley. He also had 34 in the overtime loss to Northeastern Clinton Central. In 1 game this season, he had 21 points in 1 quarter. So when he's hot, look out. His name, Todd Bishop, and he has a whole bevy of fans that are here. Great support from his family, his relatives, including Grandpa and Grandma Bishop. In fact, they're right here. You get a shot of Mr. and Mrs. Bishop. They're right here in the crowd, and the Bishop clan gathers right ringside to watch Todd Bishop play. They are great family support for Bishop. Now, Bishop averaging 19 points a game. Slade Julep, number 40. Julep, a senior, had 21 in the loss to Tupper Lake, a 59-50 loss to Tupper Lake. He averages 9 points a game. And number 3, Courtney Chatlin, a junior, averages 7 points a game. Those are the 3 leading scorers. Bishop has hit 23 pointers. Can you believe that? So the Eagles with a total of 29 3-pointers. Hornets with a total of 42. That's the pre-game chitter-chatter. What does Beekmantown have to do to win this one? I'll tell you what. They have an immediate advantage when they walk onto the floor because they are used to playing here in the Eagles' Nest. This floor is very narrow, and you will see some Hornet players, especially early in the game, step out of bounds. The three-point arc, in fact, on the sidelines, the three-point arc barely gives you room to set up for a three-pointer. There's room for your feet, and don't move them back too far or you're going to step out of bounds. The bleachers are nearly on top of the court. We are set for a big game. The Eagles traditionally play the Hornets tough on this floor. In fact, Coach Kevin Doherty was reminiscing with me back in the 70s when he played for the Hornets. He remembers the Hornets losing a close game on this floor when a player named Gary Fassett took the ball right out of a certain Hornet player's hands and put it in for the game-winning basket. The Hornets have to be ready. Make the adjustment from a big floor to a narrow floor and play an outstanding game. The team that makes the fewest mistakes will win this one. We are set for play. Eric Gagnon on camera. It's the Beekmantown Eagles and the Plattsburgh High School Hornets. The Hornets starting lineup: number 11, Jamie Armstrong, a junior. Number 20, Ryan Sapel, a senior. Number 23, Joel Butchino, a senior. Number 30, Tim DeLise, a senior. Number 45, Chris Fout, a senior. Butchino jumps it up with Slade Julep. The other starters for Beekmantown: Steve Stanley, number 31. Matt Castine, number 23, Todd Bishop, number 20, and Courtney Chatlin, number 3. Immediately the Hornets throw it into the crowd. It will be Beekmantown ball. We mentioned Eric Gagnon on camera, a graduate of Beekmantown Central School, class of '96. Just a few sweet years ago, he was taking gym classes in here with Mr. Musso and any other gym teachers you remember? Mr. Musso and Mr. Carlson. Oh, the good old days in the Eagles' Nest. Armstrong guarded by Bishop. Looks for Butchino, goes to Butchino, guarded by Chatlin. Big job for Chatlin tonight. Armstrong to Fout, guarded by Stanley. Round the horn go the Hornets. No score. Sapel in the paint, puts in 2. Ryan Sapel, who really stepped it up in the Hornets' previous game, 19 second-half points. Opens this one with a 2-pointer. Hornets up 1 minute into the contest. Bishop to the hoop, blocked by Fout. Fout gets the ball. Big defensive play by Fout. Butchino's pass into the arms of Bishop. Bishop to Castine. Castine will set the offense. This is Chatlin. Hornets play man-to-man defense as usual. Chatlin looking inside for Julep. This is Castine. We love this gym for videotaping games because we are right on top of the action. Blocked by Fout. 2 block shots by Chris Fout on the Eagles' first 2 possessions. 6.5 to play. Hornets 2, Eagles 0. Sapel redirects Butchino. Butchino swings it around to the other side. Butchino guarded by Chatlin. Hornets good ball movement and patience. But you know, shot missed. Stanley on the boards, and DeLeese will pick up a foul. Stanley had the rebound well in hand. Matt Berry, the coach of Beekmantown Central, had a great high school basketball career at Peru Central. He was one tough customer, especially close to the basket. He gave some Hornets some fits during some of our videotaping games, especially in the Indians teepee. 5:45 to play first quarter. Eagles look for their first basket, no. Toole up on the rebound, no. And Fout gets the boards. Up the floor to Armstrong. Armstrong takes it in, and he was fouled. Armstrong knocked down. Let's see who picked that one up. Jim Sheffer and Steve Chris are the officials. It will be Jamie Armstrong at the line for a pair. He makes it 3-0. When these teams met earlier this year, Plattsburgh victorious 74-37. That game was the opener of the CBAC season. Since then, the Hornets reeled off wins, and it's an Eagle who steps out of bounds, surprisingly. Hornets reeled off wins against Beekmantown, Saranac, Peru, Mariah, Osable Valley, Saranac Lake, Tupper Lake, and Northeastern Clinton until running into a hot Bobcat team on this most recent Saturday. 4-0 Plattsburgh. Knocked away by Chatwin. Into Coach Berry. He's got good hands. Eric Gagnon on camera. I'm Foxy Gagnon, North Country Cable Network. Bringing you CBAC boys varsity basketball. Good find. DeLeese found Chris Fout, and it's 6-0 Plattsburgh. Now, we've played 3 minutes. The Eagles want a basket. Chatlin, too short on the shot. Chris Fout, a force defensively. And Bishop to the basket. Bodies go flying. Almost a domino effect. And Bishop will go to the line for a couple. I think Butchino picked up the foul. Yes, he did. So Todd Bishop with a chance to break the ice. It's 6-0 Hornets. Substitution Eagles. Jeff Dubuque into the fray, replacing Courtney Chatlin. Bishop hits his second of 2 to make it 6-1. Armstrong pressured by Castine. Butchino. Tulip plays him tight now. Foul, baseline, overshot it. Butchino there for the Hornets. Armstrong resets the offense. DeLeese off his foot, got it back, looks, Fout there. Armstrong stepped up, possible 3. Butchino through traffic, tried to dish to DeLeese, but it went through his hands. 4:05 to play in the first quarter. Our thanks to Dr. Victor Castine and staff at CJM Medical for their support of Hornet basketball. Castine to Dubuque. Stanley to Dubuque, inside Tulip, back to Dubuque. Knocked away by Fout. Knocked away by Fout. My goodness. Now Chris Fout sat out the first 6 Hornet games with a back injury. Saw limited action and now gets the start in this one. 4 or 5 opportunities for the Eagles and not able to cash in, but they'll go to the line. It'll be Steve Stanley this time. Plattsburgh up 6-1. Steve Stanley with 2 opportunities from the charity stripe. Another injured Hornet out, that's Austin Chang, also out with an ankle injury. Miguel Maldonado replaces Jamie Armstrong at the 3:25 mark of the first quarter. Foul on the boards. Sapel up the floor. Sapel, Armstrong, and Fout with 2 points apiece. Maldonado to Sapel. Sapel a little off balance for the shot, but Dubuque picks up a foul. 2 free throws for Ryan Sapel. Steve, Chris, and Jim Sheffer, the official. Sheffer from Elizabethtown. He had to drive through some snow tonight to get here. Sapel makes it Hornets 7, Eagles 2. Needless to say, the Eagles need a big game from Todd Bishop. And they will look for him to get heated up. Hornets apply the pressure. Stanley to Bishop. Bishop shoots on the run. No. Delise there for the Hornets. 8-2 Plattsburgh. Butchino goes the length of the court, takes it to the hoop, kiss off the glass. Pretty play, Butchino. Butchino was the MVP of the CVAC as a sophomore. Last year, as a junior, the MVP was Brad Manor of Northern Adirondack Central, a team that went undefeated through the CVAC. 10-2 Plattsburgh, a reaching foul called on the Eagles, this one on Dubuque. Both teams with 3 team fouls. And we have a timeout called. The score on the Dr. Victor Castine and staff CJM Medical Scoreboard is Plattsburgh High School 10 and Beekmantown Central 2. Correction, foul on Bishop, his second, and he has been replaced. Penfield in, Jared Penfield in. In fact, a couple of substitutions for the Eagles. We'll check it out in a moment. Butchino's long 3 off the back of the rim, and Chatlin brings it down. It's Chatlin, Castine, Penfield, Tulip, and Jewell. Oh, they'll call that one on Lumberjack. Lumberjack John Jewell picked up the foul there, crashing into Maldonado, and the Hornets with 4 points from the foul line, 4 of their 10 go to the line. It's Maldonado this trip. Maldonado a perfect 2 for 2. Hornets are 6 for 6 from the foul line. 2 minutes to play in the first quarter. Hornets by 10. Castine all the way, missed the shot, tipped around. Jewell on the inside, fouled. And Jewell will go to the foul line. A lot of trips, a lot of shooting fouls in this first quarter. My goodness. Jewell to the foul line. The Eagles now 3 for 5 from the foul line. They're 3 points from that spot. They have no field goals yet with 1:49 to play in the first quarter. Austin Bushy in for Plattsburgh High School, replacing Ryan Sapel. Jewell gets the bounce, and it's 12-4. Maldonado Brings it up the floor in front of the Beekmantown cheerleaders. DeLeese, a short jumper swish. If you let Tim DeLeese get that close to the basket, he'll hit 92% of his shots. Jewell, but DeLeese intercepted. To Bushy. Bushy thought about the three. DeLeese on the outside. Bushy thought about it again. Butchino cutting through. Short jumper in, and he was fouled. And Butchino down. Now, Butchino suffered a concussion. Oh, he's hurt. Butchino suffered a concussion 2 games ago. That was in the game against Northeastern Clinton Central. He played most of the game against Northern Adirondack a few days later, and he is pointing at his knee. His right knee. Hopefully this is not a serious injury. He's up on his feet. This is a guy that the North Country has known about since about 7th grade, 6th grade. People looking forward and enjoying the basketball career of Joel Butchino. And you don't want to see anything, any kind of serious injury take away, let alone his senior year, take away any kind of basketball future as well. So he'll walk it off. Sapel checks back into the game, holding his right knee. He may ice it down. .1:15 to play in the first quarter. Plattsburgh 16. The Butchino shot was good. For his 3rd and 4th points, Sapel will shoot 1. And nets it. Hornets a perfect 7 for 7 from the foul line, and they apply the full court pressure D. Eagles up the floor. Cross the floor. Nice find. Chatlin found Tulip. Tulip into the book. 17-6 with a minute left in the first. Matt Schwartz into the lineup. Schwartz and Fout will handle the post spots. Schwartz's pass deflected, and Tulip bounces it to Castine. Inside, but knocked away. Looking for Tulip. Sapel knocked it away. Maldonado up the floor, double team. Sapel open. Whee! Ryan Sapel! 8 first quarter points for the senior. 20-6 Plattsburgh. Oh boy, right here, right in front of us, Schwartz and Bushy apply the pressure. The Eagles have to take a timeout with 16 seconds to play in the first quarter, and it's Plattsburgh 20, Beekmantown 6. Todd Bishop right in front of us. Gets it to Matt Castine. Bushy guards him. Substitutions, Eagles. Matt Welch in, Marshmallow Man. Foul called on the Eagles. That one on Tulip. Bishop is in with 2 fouls. At the buzzer, too late. And after 1, it's Plattsburgh High School 20 and Beekmantown Central 6. Eagles 6 points, a foul shot from Bishop, a foul shot from Stanley, 2 foul shots from Jewell, and a field goal by Slade Tulip. Plattsburgh 8 points from Sapel, couple of foul shots Armstrong, couple of foul shots Maldonado, Butchino with 4 points, DeLeese and Fout with a couple apiece. Turnover Eagles. Butchino back into the lineup. The knee must be okay. You wouldn't take a chance with they tried to go the old alley-oop. The backdoor alley-oop. Dubuque chases it down in the corner, and the Eagles run. Slade Tulip, spin move, ran into Maldonado and gets it in. Slade Tulip, first points of the second quarter. He has some fans in Peru Central, you know. He has a little cheering squad at Peru Central. We know about that. Armstrong in, Maldonado out for Plattsburgh, and Eagles ball. They get it right back, down by a dozen. And a foul called right in front of the Hornet coaching staff, and they grimace. Now, for Beekmantown, they opened the season with a loss to Plattsburgh High School. They played Peru tough, but lost by 15, and then they played Northeastern real tough, lost in overtime. They were beaten by Seton and Mariah, played Saranac tough, lost by just 5. Then they lost in overtime to Osceola Valley. So the Eagles have been close in several games, but not able to pick up the W. They then were defeated by Saranac Lake, and they lost by 9 to Tupper Lake. First shot, good by Penfield. And on the boards, high on the boards was Newell. Mark Newell, number 33, but turnover. 20-9 Plattsburgh, 1 minute into the second quarter. Plattsburgh with Armstrong, DeLeese, Fout, Sapel, and Butchino. The Eagles with Penfield, Newell, Tulip, Castine, and Dubuque. Armstrong missed. 6 bodies on the floor, held ball called. If it would have been football, Jamie Armstrong would have been credited with a recovered fumble. 6:43 to play, second quarter. We're high atop the bleachers in the Eagles' nest at Beekmantown Central. Dubuque tried to scurry out of the pack with it, but it landed at the feet of a cheerleader, and Steve Chris is pointing right at her feet. He pointed right at her feet where the ball should be. What you know, missed the shot, tip, foul on the boards, no, foul on the boards, yes. Chris Fout last season came off the bench in this gymnasium against Beekmantown Central. Came off the bench in the fourth quarter and scored 12 points. Sapel, a 2-on-2, lead pass to DeLeese, missed it but was fouled. Tulip picks up a foul. Exactly 6 minutes now to play in the second quarter. 22-9 Plattsburgh. Tim DeLeese with 2 shots. Chatlin in and Jewell in for Beekmantown Central. We talked with the players, several of the players of Beekmantown before the game. We got a list of some pretty good nicknames, and we found out that Matt Roach Brockway will not be in the game tonight. He's out with an injury. Chatlin all the way. He attacked the basket. Courtney Chatlin, the Eagles outscoring Plattsburgh 5-3 in the second quarter. But they're down by a dozen. Foul through the arms of Armstrong as he cut the lane. DeLeese 3-point range. Foul steps to high post. Sapel, spin moved over the double team. What a move by Sapel. He has 10 points. Dubuque to Chatlin. Chatlin 3-point range. He was poised. The double team and he traveled. Plattsburgh 25, Beekmantown 11. We're in the second quarter. Jamie Armstrong. Courtney Chatelain sticks close to Joel Butchino. Armstrong alone, three-point range. Oh, it was a two-pointer. Apparently a two-pointer. He must have had the toenails on the black line. 27 to 11. Bishop. Butchino high on the boards. Lofts it for Sapel. Sapel to DeLeese. That little baseline jumper usually makes that one. And Armstrong clears it out to Butchino. Armstrong three-pointer, no. DeLeese on the boards, no. And the other side, Castine, he runs it up the floor. Chatelain thought about the three, takes it in, and was fouled. 9 seconds away from the midway point of the second quarter. 27 to 11, Plattsburgh. Plattsburgh playing without starter Adam Favreau. Chris Fout checks out, and Matt Parks in. Parks, number 33. He's a tall, lean fella. He's a transfer student to Plattsburgh High School from, I believe, the Chicago, Illinois area. Bishop, boy, the shot's not falling for Todd Bishop, and that'll be frustrating for him. Tried to go backdoor to Butchino, knocked away. Stanley has it. The Eagles hurrying it up the floor, trying to beat the Hornet defense. Bishop found the lane there. Bishop found the opening, made the quick move. It's 27-13. If Bishop gets warmed up, look out. Park sets the pick, and they waft it to Butchino. Nope. Out of bounds, Beekmantown ball. Castine in the paint, he was fouled. Coach Doherty has used 9 players already. 3 remain, 2 out injured. Matt Castine at the line. We'll get one more. Austin City Limits Bushy in for Plattsburgh, and Slade Tulip re-enters the Eagles Hotel, giving Bishop a rest. Second one good for Castine, 27-14. 3 minutes to play, second quarter. Butchino to the basket, too short, got the foot back and puts it in. Butchino as good at putbacks as I've seen in the CVAC. Butchino on the boards. Butchino up the floor, guarded by Chatelain. All the way, they put the squeeze on him, he'll shoot 2. Stanley in front, Tulip behind, they give it to Slade Tulip. That might be his third. Coach Berry asking about a charge, but Steve Chris didn't agree with that. And that is the second foul on Tulip. Butchino to the line for the first time. He has 6 points. Buccino's low game of the season, if you were wondering. Not that it matters, but low game of the season. 17 in the opener against Beekmantown. He has 7. 30-14 Plattsburgh. Turnover and Parks there for the Hornets. Plattsburgh ball under their own basket. David Canoyer, the destroyer, in, replacing Matt Parks. Bushy. Armstrong. Buccino pops it. Yes, two-pointer Joel Buccino. 32-14. Hornets led by 14 after 1. They now lead by 18. Tulip thought about it, brings it in the paint. DeLeese gets the rebound. DeLeese three-point range. Buccino, quick ball movement. Armstrong crosses floor to Bushy. He fires a three, too much on it, and Stanley there. Castine to Penfield. Guarded by Austin Bushy. Into the paint, knocked away. Austin Bushy comes out with it. Eric Gagnon on camera. I'm Foxy Gagnon. We're North Country Cable Network. Bushy, three! Austin Bushy hits the three for Bushy. That's his third in the CVAC this year. And it's 35-14, 35 seconds to play, first half. Buccino intercepts. Hornets with the shot clock off, 25 seconds, and a timeout as Coach Doherty wanted to get some substitutions in for the final 24 seconds. It's Plattsburgh 35, Beekmantown 14. Maldonado, Bushy. Oh, I wish he would have fired up another three. He passed up on that one too. Oh, nice dish. Oh my goodness! Canoyer to Maldonado to foul. Sounds like a law firm. Canoyer, Maldonado, and foul. Bishop, no. Rebound, Bushy, buzzer. They accidentally stepped on Austin Bushy's foot right at the buzzer. I hope his foot's okay. The Hornets have weak ankles. We hope those ankles are okay. At halftime, it's Plattsburgh High School 37, Beekmantown Central 14. Ready in the second half. I'm Foxy Gagnon along with Eric Gagnon on camera. North Country Cable Network bringing you CVAC boys basketball. The Hornets with 20 first quarter points and 17 second quarter points. Total of 37, led by Sapel with 10 and Buccino with 9, Fout with 6. 3 for DeLeese, 3 for Bushy, and 4 for Armstrong. Charge called on Bushy, or on Bishop. That is his third foul. Beekmantown balanced scoring, 6 in the first, 8 in the second, total of 14. 2 from Jewell, 4 from Tulip, 1 from Stanley, 1 from Castine, 3 from Bishop. 1 from Penfield and 2 from Chatwin. Knocked away, but into the hands of Armstrong. Third quarter guest. We like to have a third quarter guest. Liz Yockstad, who played high school basketball and other sports at Plattsburgh High School, but now participating in college athletics, and we'll talk with her in a moment about what's been happening since leaving Plattsburgh High School. Stanley with the basket. And it's 37-16. So Liz, what's your status? I'm going to guess you're a senior in college.
I'm a senior at Ithaca College, yep.
All right. And you've been participating in sports there. Tell us about it.
I've been on the crew team, which is rowing, since my freshman year.
I know, and I think that's a killer of a sport.
Yeah, it's pretty rough.
People say all you do is sit down, but that's not the case.
Oh, no. Yeah, actually I'm the captain this year, so that's exciting.
Great.
And we run and lift weights and stuff, which is what we're doing right now in the off-season. It's fun.
Sapel hits the foul shot. Now, who are some of the schools that you compete against?
Marist College in Poughkeepsie, Buffalo, UB, Williams in Massachusetts, William Smith, Holy Cross, Brandeis. That's about it.
All right. And now, you didn't participate in that sport in high school, I know.
No, not at all.
So how did you fall into that?
They had a table at freshman orientation with a video, and I saw it, and it just looked awesome, so I just showed up on the first day.
Wow. Now, at Plattsburgh High School, what sports did you participate in?
Soccer, basketball, and softball. And I loved all those sports, but I was just ready for something different in college.
Long one from Chaplin. No, 39-16, 2 minutes into the third quarter. Plattsburgh High School. Sapel all the way in. It's a charge on Sapel. Now, from your days in the CVAC, perhaps in the other sports that you played, you earned honors, but I know in basketball you did. You were a CVAC All-Star and all of that. You have good memories about your sports at Plattsburgh High School?
Oh yeah, definitely. I think everything I learned at Plattsburgh, I used in college.
Really?
And just because it's different sports, it's still the same ethics, showing up, working hard. So.
And you've had some sisters follow in your steps. Talk about them.
Yep, Kate's a senior on the Plattsburgh High School basketball team, and Susie's a freshman on the JV team, and they're plugging along.
And so your folks have been in Barker Memorial Gymnasium for many years in a row.
I think they have two little depressions with their names on it. Yeah.
That is for sure. I don't think they miss many events that you girls participate in.
It's fun to come home and watch because the level of play has really, someone who doesn't get to watch every single game that just comes back like once a year, it's really fun to watch.
Now, where will your studies at Ithaca College lead to? What's up next?
I have one more year in the physical therapy program, and then hopefully get a job as a physical
therapist.
Yep.
So that means you must have had some impressions made on you by Coach Donnelly, athletic trainer at Plattsburgh High School.
I took his class, athletic training, as a senior, and walked in. I didn't actually start taking PT classes till I was a junior, but I still remembered a lot of ligaments and muscles and what to do, when somebody first gets an injury. So I kind of started out a little bit ahead.
Several of the ladies from Plattsburgh High School have gone into physical training. Is that what it's called, or physical therapy?
Physical therapy, yeah. Yep. Kelly Sheen, I think, is working in New Jersey right now. Has a job. Rainey's an OT. She's living in Boston right now.
Rainey Dingman, yep. And Kathy Laundrie, who's my cousin.
Yeah, she's working in town.
Yep. Great.
And then Danielle Waldron is a junior in the PT program. I see her around once in a while. Yeah, so. It's a good field.
Buccino to the foul line and scores. Who are some of the teammates that you played with that you've been able to stay friends with from Plattsburgh High School?
Actually, Stacy Brown and Chrissy King, I hadn't seen them, and I just saw them recently. It was nice to see them. Betsy Laundry, I see her, and your cousin again.
Now, any sectional championships while you were at Plattsburgh High School in any of the sports?
Yes, I think I might have one or two in softball and then one in soccer.
Okay. Who coached you for softball?
John Fountain for 4 years. Yep.
Nearing the midway mark of the third quarter, Hornets 40 and Beekmantown 18. Fout takes the jumper off the base of the rim. Battle for the ball. And Chatwin on the breakaway. Chatwin gets it back, and Tulip's turn. Nope, he can't convert it into points, and the touchdown pass from Buccino to DeLeese. And I think Buccino played some PAL football at one time. He might have played some early PAL football and threw a few touchdown passes when he was a kid. Our guest is Liz Yockstad, who graduate of Plattsburgh High School. Have you been able to get to any of the girls' basketball games? Watch your sisters play?
Yeah, I saw them in the tournament after Christmas, and actually I don't remember who they're playing, but I did go to the game, and it's really fun to watch, to come back and see.
Maldonado on the putback. Maldonado makes it 44 to 18. We're at Beekmantown Central School. Fout comes up with it. And this is one of the nice things about when you have college students, Plattsburgh High School alumni who come back to the area to see their families. They go to these sports events. We were able to catch up with Lindsay Meyer, who's a freshman at Cortland, and it's always nice to see some of the former athletes and find out what they're doing. Now for your college sport, train all year round, obviously.
Yeah, we row in the fall, but the spring is when our actual real races are. But we row all year round, and it's fun.
Now, how far do you have to travel from campus for your events, for your like home events?
Well, the boathouse is about a 15-minute run or a 15-minute drive down the hill. So that's what you start out doing as a freshman to kind of get in shape, and you just keep running down. You just keep going. So we travel as far as Georgia to compete. Our end of the year races in Georgia sometimes.
I can't imagine the coaches yelling and screaming at you the way maybe a basketball coach might or anything. I just can't imagine that from a rowing coach.
Well, the rowing coaches, what they do is they ride a bike along shore.
They do.
Yeah, so they have a little watch. They're keeping track of how many strokes and our time, and they're trying to keep the bike in line. And so you're rowing, and you're not supposed to look out of the boat ever, but you always do because they're screaming at you. And one time I looked up, and she just totally bit it, like wiped out. Just crashed into this person.
Oh my.
Yeah.
Now, how many? So I'm really unschooled at this. How many are in the boat?
There's 8 women in the boat with an oar, and then there's one coxswain with a microphone that kind of just yells and encourages.
Oh, I'd like to do that part.
And she steers.
Yeah, it has to be a girl. It's nothing I could do for your team.
Well, the men's team, they can have women's coxswains because they're not NCAA.
Yeah. Oh.
But since we're NCAA, we can't have a men's coxswain.
Oh,
but
darn
the men's team does have a few female coxswains.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh. Well, I think I'd be good at that part. I've got a voice. I could yell.
It's hard to find a guy that weighs 120. It's part of the problem.
Oh, I'm out. Forget that idea. 120.
Yeah.
I haven't been that since about 5th grade.
I don't even think 5th grade.
44 to 18 is the score. Long one from Dubuque. No, won't fall. Nice rebound on the boards. Good job on the boards by Matt Welch. And Welch puts it in for 2. 44-20. A 6-pack of points in the third quarter for Beekmantown, and Plattsburgh with 7. We're hoping in the fourth quarter we get Air Moose out onto the floor. TJ Musa, better known as Air Moose. We're hoping for him. Knocked away from Parks. So, Liz, you don't know where you're still a year away from out looking for work, so you're not sure, would you necessarily want to stay in New York, or might
Probably
you
Northeast.
in the Northeast someplace?
Yeah. I'd like to be a car drive away from home. But I don't know.
Well, we agree with that. Yeah, we'd like that.
Probably have to live near water.
Have you ever thought about coaching yourself? Do you think if you ever had the opportunity, you might coach?
Definitely. I think.
What sport would you like to coach?
See, that's the thing. I don't know.
Yeah.
Basketball is kind of in my blood, but
Yeah?
I don't know. I've been spending an awful lot of time rowing there.
A 2-pointer from Bushy. The fans wanted 3. Did you ever hit a 3-pointer in your career?
No.
You were.
I wasn't really allowed to come outside.
No, you were great, close to the basket. Foul line in was your turf.
In my day, it was big girls don't dribble. I don't know if that's still the rule, but that was my rule.
And now it's Austin Bushy landing hard. Just 47 seconds to play in this third quarter. We want to thank Liz Yockstad and wish her the best. Thanks for joining us,
Thank
Liz.
you. And I'd like to just tell anyone that's maybe not playing their traditional sport in college, the crew is a really great alternative if you don't maybe
Great.
feel you're competitive and if you like to work out. Go for it.
Great.
And thank you.
Great advice. Thanks, Liz. Nice to see you. One of our all-time favorite athletes at Plattsburgh High School, Liz Yockstad. We'll get a shot of her as she walks over across the court or heads over to her friends on the other side. At the foul line, Welch puts it in. I knew we would put that one in. 42 seconds and counting. 46-22 Plattsburgh. I might have lost a few points in my scorebook. Maldonado, make sure I see that one. Maldonado with a 6-pack of points. 48-22. Half a minute to go in the third. Matt Schwartz guarding the post area for Plattsburgh. Castine with the move and the jumper. Castine hits it, his first points of the game. Nope, he has first field goal, but he had a foul shot earlier. Parks for the Hornets, 4 seconds. Maldonado fires a long one, and that's the buzzer. After 3, we'll get a shot of Liz over there. Do you see her in the purple sweater? She's looking the wrong way, but anyway, with 1 quarter to go, the score is Plattsburgh High School 48 and Beekmantown Central 24. Underway in the fourth quarter, and Eagles ball. Penfield with 2. Parks for Plattsburgh. Schwartz. Bounce pass to Maldonado. Now Parks. And he's in. Nice high arc. And Parks is in the book. Hornets with 50 points. Beekmantown with 26. Travel call before the bucket. The third quarter scoring 11 for Plattsburgh, 10 for Beekmantown. One minute into the final canto. Schwartz to Sapel. Sapel finds Maldonado, three-point range, three! Miguel Maldonado with 9 points, his biggest varsity game of the season, 53-26. Jules turnaround, nice left-handed shot from John Jewell. Beekmantown's Bishop just 3 points. An off game for him to say the least, and tough break there. Schwartz hits it. Matt Schwartz. Schwartzy good for 2, and it's 55-28. Tulip to the basket for the Eagles. Tulip with a field goal in each quarter. Schwartz gets it to Sapel, 55-30. Bishop guards Maldonado. Parks. Sapel open if they reverse it. Parks brings it out. Bushy, three-point range. Parks, Sapel open. They go on inside to Bushy. Shot clock winding down. Knocked away, and Plattsburgh never got the shot off. Violation. Shot clock violation. Hornets never got a shot. 5:26 to play in the fourth quarter. Our thanks to Dr. Victor Castine and staff at CJM Medical for their support. Jim Sheffer and Steve Chris, the officials. Canoyer in for Plattsburgh. Brian Cook in also for the Hornets. Chatlin partially blocked by Cook. And back to the action. A three-point three. Bishop hits the three. For Todd, his 21st CVAC three-pointer. Number 30, Air Moose into the contest for Beekmantown, also known as TJ Musa. Knocked around and taken by Jewell. Jewell hands off to Castine, up the floor to Chatlin. Chatlin blocked by Parks. Big defensive play there. And Bushy will set it up for the Hornets. 4.5 to play in the game. 55-33. Plattsburgh High School's led all the way. Canoyer well short on the shot. Castine there for the Eagles. He runs it past us. Chatlin passes on the three, brings it into paint. The Hornet starters on the bench. For Plattsburgh, it's Schwartz, Cook, Bushy, Canoyer, and now Dan Trudeau. And for the Eagles, it's Musa, Castine, Bishop, Chatlin, and Stanley. Four Eagles starters still on the floor. At the midway point of the fourth quarter, Matt Schwartz looks, gets it to Trudeau, double team on Trudeau. Watch the 10-second violation. Got to get it over, and they don't. 10-second violation. Hornets got to move it up the floor. 55-33. Bishop calls the play right in front of the Beekmantown cheerleaders. Nice to talk to Liz Yockstad. What a girl she was. An excellent athlete at Plattsburgh High School, but also quite a scholar. Finished among the top in her class. And we certainly wish her the best. Nice talking with her. Rowing. I don't know. It's nice to be able to sit down while you're playing a sport. I like that idea. Sit down while you're playing the sport. Just move those arms back and forth a little bit. We'll get Liz. Want me to get Liz's attention? Liz! Hey, Liz! There, we wanted to see how it's done. There's Liz. It's 55-33, Plattsburgh over Beekmantown. Eric Bell is in for Beekmantown. He's under the basket with the headband. Battle for the ball. Dubuque comes out with it. Castine thinks about it. Castine sets the Eagle offense. Bell, number 55, also called Belly, which would be a good nickname for me these days. Bishop, back of the rim. Canoyer on the boards. Bishop steals it. A 2-on-1. Bishop to the hoop. Bishop now with 8 in the game. He's the leading scorer for Beekmantown. 55-35. Cook, Canoyer, guarded by Bell. Bell slaps at it. And Canoyer on the boards, it'll count. David Canoyer. The two-pointer in, and he'll go to the charity stripe and try to make it a three-point play. Swish. 58-35 following the Canoyer three-point play. Bishop guarded by Trudeau. Bishop, foul line, fall away, rolled the rim, but Musa, they do call him Air Moose. Did you see how high he got up for that rebound? And I'll tell you what, this is a guy, number 30, legendary in youth sports for baseball. Put a baseball bat in his hand, he'll hit one over the school. TJ Musa. And he made the foul shot roll in. 58-36. Dubuque gets it. Musa and Castine. Castine a quick jumper. Tipped around, and it'll be Beekmantown ball under their own basket. Look at under near the basket there, clapping his hands. That's Mr. Maston. And is that Mr. Moody? Mr. Miles Moody and Mr. Tom Maston. Longtime teachers at Beekmantown Central. And Air Moose puts in a nice hook shot. Oh boy, I'll tell you, Musa plays great in front of our cameras. 58-38 with 2 minutes to play. Trudeau. Oh, stolen by Musa. Forget Air Jordan. The North Country has Air Moose. Oh my. And he goes to the line to make it a three-point play. Oh no, he's gonna have 2 shots. Sorry, I got so excited here. Lost control. What a fourth quarter for Musa. Oh, a wrestling match for the loose ball. And Bell, the headband was wrestled right off his head. Oh man. I'll tell you, these players are playing aggressive. You'd think this was like a 2-point game or tied game. They mean business. Possession arrow to Beekmantown, and Bishop checks out. He finishes with 8 points in the game. A minute 45 to play. A steal here by Bell. Schwartz on the floor. Loose ball. Musa muscles it out. And there's Penfield. Penfield to the hoop. No. Look at the ball bounce around like a hot tater. Castine was fouled. 58-39. The Hornets will go to 9-1 on the season. We're going to recap the scoring. We like to recap the scoring before we say goodnight. It's a school night, so I hope the homework is done, everybody. All these players got to go home and hit the books. Cook to Bushy, 1:10 to play. Shudo to Cook. Cook finds the opening, the jumper, base of the rim. Canoyer, oh, he was pounded in the head. Oh, Musa pounded him at the back of the head. Jeez, that was a foul. Canoyer never felt it because in football he's known as Canoyer the Destroyer. Nobody ran around his end in football. I saw one running back in the CVAC run towards Canoyer, saw the big guy standing there, and he turned around in a hurry and headed to order a popcorn at the concession stand. He wanted no part of Canoyer in football. 58-40, 50 seconds to play. Penfield. Cook on the boards for Plattsburgh. Brian Cook. Stolen by Dubuque. Dubuque lays it in. Jeff Dubuque with the points. 30 seconds remaining. Bushy all the way, puts in two. The left-hand move. Austin Bushy. Bushy had 11 in an earlier game this season, 60-42. Musa on the boards. It's in! TJ Musa! 6 points in the fourth quarter, and that ends it. Whoa, boy. An exciting fourth quarter, let me tell you. Plattsburgh wins it 60-44. Great job by Jim Sheffer and Steve Chris, the officials. The Hornets move to 9-1 atop the Division I of the CVAC. Scoring for Beekmantown, 2 from Chatelain, 3 from Penfield, 2 from Dubuque. Bishop leads the scorers with 8. Castine with 4. Musa with 6, his biggest game of the season, all in the fourth quarter. Stanley with 3, Welch with 4, 8 for Tulip to tie Bishop for high score. Jewell with 4, and that's the scoring for Beekmantown. For Plattsburgh High School, we'll just go down the roster. Armstrong with 4, Bushy with 7, Sapel 8 in the first quarter, and he finishes with 12. Maldonado with 9. Butchino 9 in the first half and finishes at 10. Adam Favreau was out injured. DeLeese with 5. Canoyer with 3. Parks with 2. Schwartz with 2. And Chris Fout with 6 first half points. The final score, Plattsburgh High School 60 and Beekmantown Central 44. Thanks to Eric Gagnon for his work on camera, and thanks to Dr. Victor Castine and staff at CJM Medical for their support of Hornet basketball. This is Foxy Gagnon on behalf of everyone at North Country Cable Network saying good night, North Country.